Alright, so with this function, we're graphing. Lots of you can graph using different methods. What we're asking you to do here is graph using a table. So we've got our equation, and we're going to pick values for x. I'm going to pick values for x that are small and easy to manage. We'll go -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm just filling them in. And for the table, I'm going to put, we've got -3 times each one of those, and then we're going to add 4 to that. So -3 times 1, -3 times 0, and you can pick any values that you want to put into the equation. And then we just find out what the corresponding y value would be. So if we use a -1 and we drop it in, we're going to get a 7. 0 times -3, we're going to get a 4, then a 1, then a -2, then a -5. And these are my points. -1, 7. And then we've got 0, 4. We've got 1, 1, 1. Just continues on down like this. And here are my points. Graph the function, include at least 5 points on your graph. There we go. Now you can throw up a line. I'm going to just get a little crazy. And that's how we're going to graph it. So you pick your points, you execute the equation, you find your y value, and then you plot it all. Let's go on to the next one. 1/3 x. Now this one, you've got the 1/3 times your x, so make sure you pick numbers that are handy. Example, -6, -3, 0, 3, and +6. Why did I pick these? Because taking 1/3 of those values is easy. I wouldn't want to pick -5 as an example because -5 is not divisible by 3. It makes makes a fraction. No fun. I'd leave that alone. So I'm just getting crazy here. 1/3 times 6 plus 1. So I have -2 plus 1, -1 plus 1, 0 plus 1, +1 plus 1, +2 plus 1. And these numbers, they just allow me an easier life. You don't want to take and make your life any harder than it currently is. So when you are allowed to pick numbers, as we were here, pick numbers that are easy to use. If you've got a fraction, pick a number that denominator is not going to play games with. So we've got a fraction of 1/3. I'm going to pick numbers that are divisible by 3. Next problem. We've got this one. You've got your squareds. Again, I'm going to square this number. Small numbers. Use small numbers. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So I've got, I'm just going to drop it in. 4 minus 4 plus 1. Taking it and squaring it. 1 minus 2 plus 1. We've got 0 plus 0 plus 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1. Taking it and dropping it in. 4 plus 4 plus 1. So 9, 4, 1, 0, 1. And we're going to plot it. I've got -1, 0, 1, 4, 2, 9. Now, I've got this graph looks like this. I've got my 5 points. I am confident this graph is going to head back up the other way. What I'm going to do is simply make sure of that by throwing in a -3 and a -4. I don't have to, but it'll allow me to see that a little bit better. I've got 9 minus 6 plus 1. I've got 16 minus 8 plus 1. That's going to be a 9 and a 4. And I can tell for sure now where that graph is headed. Some of you may end up knowing that. That's fine. I'm going to go in and make sure that I've got those points necessary to make my graph look good. So it came down, it stopped right here. I want to make sure I've got the whole thing correct, so I go get a few more points just to make sure it looks good. This one, absolute value bars. These are absolute value bars. It means distance from 0. I'm going to pick some easy numbers again. We'll go -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. The absolute value of 3x, so in this one I'll write it all the way out. And then -1, we've got 3 times -1, absolute valued, -1, 3 times 0, absolute valued -1, 3 times 1, absolute valued, -1, and then 3 times 2, absolute valued, -1. So this is -6. Absolute value is 6. -6 is 6 units away from 0, so it changes to a +6. -1 is 5. We have 3 minus 1 is 2. And then we have 0 minus 1 is -1. And then we'll go 2 and 5 again. Taking and plotting these points, we've got this. I've got a 2. I've got a 5. And it's going to look just like that. All right, next problem. Calculator section. Sketch the graph, label your X and Y axis. That's important. Identify the independent and dependent variable. All right, tired, hours you sleep. So I'm going to go, this is the hours I sleep. Well, I guess on this one, independent variable is going to be how tired you are. That's what you will need to know first. And how long you sleep will depend on how tired you are. So tired, and then hours. As you get more tired, I would imagine you sleep for more hours. Looks like that. It would actually taper off because you're not going to sleep to infinity as you get more tired. There'll be a tapering effect, but it'll look something like this. Ticket sales versus how good a team is performing. The independent variable is going to be skill of team, and then the skill of the team is going to tell you how many tickets you're going to sell. And then skill. So as you acquire more skill, you're going to sell more tickets. Most of the time. Sometimes people get a little crazy. They buy tickets for teams. More importantly, the skill increases, ticket sales increases. 7. The money in your bank increases slowly the first week. The second week, you don't put any money in. The third week, it quickly increases. Now, this one, you will be scored on, and this will go time, number of weeks, dependent variable is money. You're going to put it in, and your rates go a certain way. So bank account increases slowly. That's week 1. It flatlines for week 2 because we don't put any money in it, and then it increases quickly on week 3. So this one, how you draw that graph is much more important than the other ones because they specify what is happening. We want to make sure we follow what is happening. We begin to collect different baseball cards. You start out with 50 and get 6 more each month. The independent variable is the number of months. As the months increase, your number of cards increases. We start out with 50. So if I go M and C, the number of cards I have is equal to 50 because I started out with 50 plus 6 more per month. On this one, we're riding a train in the mountains. Our elevation is 1,200 feet. Every minute you descend 50 feet. Minutes is going to be our independent variable. That's what's changing. What that affects is your elevation. I'll go M and E, defining our variables out. So our elevation is going to start off at 1,200, and every minute we're going to lose 50 feet. It's just like that. We'll cut the video here.